There will now be an opportunity for silent prayer or meditation. Thank you. May you be seated. Let me take this opportunity and welcome our new honorable member, Honorable Chweni, who was sworn in last week, and he replaces the Honorable Marshall. You are welcome, Honorable Chweni. Statements by members. Just a reminder to honorable members that in terms of our rules, the time allocation for member statements is as follows. Each statement is 1.5 minutes. MEC's response to a statement is 2 minutes, and a maximum of 7 statements are allowed under this rule. Are there any member statements? Honorable Malapeng.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The African National Congress appreciates the Department of Public Works, Roads and Transport for commencing with the upgrading and rehabilitation of Road P216/1 between Embalenhle and Secunda, marking a significant step towards improving road infrastructure and mobility in the area. The commencement of this project was marked by a salt turning ceremony and the introduction of the project team. The salt turning ceremony led by MEC Thulasizwe Thomo was attended by the Executive Mayor of Governing Begi, Local Municipality Councillor Nhlakanipho Zuma, councillors, community stakeholders, as well as representatives of the local community. Honorable Speaker, this road has over the years experienced heavy traffic due to the high volume of travelers commuting between Embalenhle and Secunda. The upgrading of this road to a double carriage is expected to improve traffic flows, enhancing road safety and providing more efficient connectivity between the two communities. The project will contribute to local economic development by creating opportunities for local businesses, contractors, and employment for locals in the area. We therefore appreciate the department in effectively discharging its obligation to improve roads infrastructure. I thank you.
Honorable Manzini.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Welcome the statement by Honorable Malapeng. Indeed, as a province, we know our road network, and we promised our people that we are going to use infrastructure capital to make sure that also we create job opportunities. And now we have started, we are continuing. So that is a demonstration that even though we have got budgetary constraints, but we'll continue to work with national and local government to make sure that our communities are accessible, and also our economic network also, it is in good condition so that we can invest in the economy of the province and in the country. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Mhlongo.
Honorable Speaker, the ANC wishes to congratulate Banyana Banyana for their stellar performance, fighting spirit during the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations. Although we couldn't bring the Kudu horn back home, the dream of qualifying for the FIFA Women's Cup is still alive as the girls progress to the Interconfederation playoffs. The nation stands behind you, and all women in sports keep believing and making South Africa proud. The Banyana Banyana team represents South Africa with dignity and pride throughout the group stages to add another chapter to the South Africans' sporting history. Honorable Speaker, the ruling party, through its public representatives deployed in government, reaffirms its commitment to working with all stakeholders to strengthen and advance women's support through sustained investment, improved development progress, and broader opportunities for female athletes. As we draw closer to the end of the 2026 Women's Month celebration, we take this opportunity to thank this august House once again for supporting and approving appropriation bills which are responsive to the empowerment of women. youth development, and people with disability. Empowered women empowers the nation. I thank you.
Honorable Mabuza.
Thank you, Honour Speaker. Let me take this opportunity to greet your good self, the members of the Executive Council, the Majority Chief Whip, all members of the August House. Indeed, Honour Speaker, we want to appreciate the sterling work that is continuously played by women in sport, noting that in South Africa we're a bit behind in terms of women development in all sporting codes. But we appreciate what Banyana Banyana is doing in the country. And the motivation of young women in a Women's Month that says they can be able to do it if they are committed and determination. We thank you, Honourable Speaker. Thank you so much.
Honorable Masango.
Thank you, Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I rise on behalf of the Democratic Alliance to deliver a member statement. Throughout 2024, several municipalities throughout the province have been struggling with persistent water shortages, water rationing, and the related because water in their respective dams were drying up. This is related to climate change in persistent droughts and affects our province. In 2024, MLO and Chief Albert Lutuli were plagued by destabilizing water shortages because of drought conditions. During this period, all spheres of government have made numerous promises, including abstraction of water from nearby municipalities. However, nothing has come of these promises, and we are in the very same situation with a lack of rainfall. Recently, it was announced that South Africa should brace itself for drier weather patterns because of strengthening El Nino weather pattern that is expected to occur from late 2026 and 2027. Honourable Speaker, through letters, motions, statements, and questions in the House, I asked this provincial government for a water strategy that would avert this and requested that we make our dams bigger, but this was to no avail. Yet I ask again, what plans does this provincial government have in place that will mitigate the impact of impending drought and ensure that residents have a sustainable water supply in the future? I thank you.
Honorable Manzini.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Let's welcome the statement made by Honourable Masango. Indeed, we agree with him that the issue of climate change and the drought is affecting us. But we don't agree that there's nothing that has been done, because as we are speaking, we are finalizing the issue of Loskop Dam around JS Moroka and Tembisile, intervening in terms of water in that area of Ngangala District Municipality. We are intervening in terms of your 3 copies, in terms of making sure that the people around Komas does have water. And there are plans in place that have been put, if budget allows, in terms of around Bombela also in that regard. So it is not correct that we are not doing anything. There are plans in place as budget allows. We'll continue to make sure that the majority of our people that does not have water in the province does have water. Looking at the current situation that we are confronted with as a country, agreeing with him that drought is one of the challenges that we are facing. Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker.
Honorable Mashiane.
Honourable Speaker, 2 weeks of sewage spills at Steve Tshwete. Honourable Speaker, today I want to raise a matter that should concern every resident of Steve Tshwete. In Ward 19, residents have been forced to live with ongoing sewage spills at Matole Recreational Park for 2 weeks. I mean 2 weeks. This is not a minor inconvenience. It is a public health risk, an environmental concern, and a clear sign of a municipality failing to maintain basic infrastructure. Action SA conducted an oversight visit to the park, and what we found was deeply concerning. Sewage is spilling into a public recreational space, while illegal dumping of dirt and waste has further degraded the area. The park's facilities, including the toilets, have deteriorated to the point where they are no longer fit for purpose. Speaker, residents should not be expected to accept this as normal. Matole Recreational Park is a public asset. It belongs to the people. The question is simple. If a municipality cannot resolve a sewage spill for 2 weeks in a public park, what confidence can residents have that it will respond when even more serious problems arise? This is why Action SA is contesting these elections. We are not interested in managing decline. We are interested in fixing what is broken. Steve Tshwete needs leadership that responds to residents, protects public infrastructure, and understands that service delivery is not a
Your time
favor.
is up.
It is the responsibility of government.
Your time is
Thank you.
up, Honorable Manzini.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. We note the statement by Honorable Member and indicate that 2 weeks we acknowledge that indeed our people must live in a place where there is dignity. And we are busy with that, of course. It shows that as much as it's not raising like it has been there for the longest time, the issue of sewer is something that it's an ongoing matter. Even in your own house, one day you might wake up with a blocked bath toilet and whatsoever. So we are busy looking at that and fixing it, and the municipality is working tirelessly to make sure that that 2 weeks it's turning back into dignity for our people. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Weber.
Honorable Speaker, I rise on behalf of the Freedom Front Plus to deliver a member statement. Honorable Speaker, since the beginning of this year alone, 26 violent farm attacks and 1 farm murder have been reported in our province. Against this backdrop of escalating crime, removing self-defense as a valid reason for firearm ownership under the Firearms Control Act poses a direct threat to our citizens, especially our farming communities. Stripping law-abiding residents of self-protection only empowers criminals and leaves our rural communities defenseless. Honorable Speaker, the Freedom Front Plus stands firmly against these amendments to defend our fundamental right of self-protection. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Manzini.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Indeed, the issue of crime is something that the government is dealing with, and from the national to the province, and also together with our communities, because those people that are found to be doing criminal activities in our communities are our brothers and sisters. Hence, working together, it becomes more important so that we deal with that. But also themselves, the farmers, I think, must work together with us so that the people that are working in their farms are well recorded. They've got the correct record in terms of who they are, so that as this thing happen, we all know that the people, because sometimes it might happen that they are also there. But I believe that Honorable Weber, the Department of Community Safety, Security and Liaison, working together with the farms around, should have a program that would make sure that integrated ourselves as communities and local government and farmers, we work together so that we deal with this crime. Because it's a crime is not like only targeted to the farmers only. So hence we must find a program and intervention that will deal with communities. And if we deal with safety of the communities, farmers are also included in that regard. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Mkabela.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise on behalf of the economic freedom fighters to condemn the city of Mbombela for its continued failure to provide the people of Lupisi, just outside Pinar, with clean and reliable water. Information at our disposal suggests that this crisis has persisted for years, with some community members reporting that they have gone as long as 10 years without proper water services. 10 years, Honorable Speaker. 10 years is not a temporary interruption. 10 years is not a maintenance issue.
10 years is a failure that has been allowed to continue. Honorable Speaker, water is a basic human right, not a privilege that communities must protest for. The ANC-led government cannot continue asking people to be patient while they struggle to meet the most basic needs of our families. We call on the Department of Cooperative Governance, Human Settlements and Traditional Affairs and the City of Mbombela Municipality to act immediately and decisively in resolving the water crisis faced by the people of Lupisi. The EFF stands firmly in solidarity with the people of Lupisi in their demand for clean water, reliable water, and the dignity they deserve. I thank you.
Honorable Manzini.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Indeed, we agree with Honorable Mkhabela that our people must have access to water. But also indicate that the problem of Lupisi is the issue of also increasing in terms of population. And those communities therefore disrupt the pipeline, the bulk pipeline, therefore disrupting the initial plan that we had that the water must go to the communities. So I know that the City of Mbombela is working tirelessly to make sure that they fix the problem of the pipeline so that those communities that initially might be having water is not disrupted. And secondly, in terms of making sure that currently there is a plan that they are using to make sure that there's water tank, but that is a temporary solution. So indeed, as I said, that when I was responding to Honorable Member in terms of the future plans, in terms of the dams and all that, so that the people of Mbombela does have water consistently. But now I know that there's arrangement also in terms of different days so that they accommodate all the communities where they might not be getting water every day, but there's a plan in place that they are using to make sure that certain days. And what I like is that the City of Mbombela have agreed with the committee themselves to say, during these days, you will get water, and during those days, the other people will get water. So while we are looking for a permanent solution, we'll continue to work with the community of Lupisi so that indeed they can get water permanently. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Fenyane.
Thank you, Speaker. I rise on behalf of Umkhonto we Party to bring to this House the cries of the forgotten people of this province, our farm dwellers. In Mpumalanga, municipalities such as Mkhondo, Dr. Pitlika Sieme, Likwa, and Msuga Likwa, it is reported that farm dwellers and farm workers continue to live in fear and indignity. Ill treatment and undignified living conditions, lack of access to water, electricity, decent housing, and sanitation. Despite their contribution to this agricultural economy of this province, constant threat of unfair and unlawful evictions, which is contrary to the Extension of Security Tenure Act of 1997, known as ESTA, where people are affected without a court order or are evicted without a court order. Restrictions of basic rights, such as unable to access schools, families denied the right to bury their loved ones, and a victimization of exercising their constitutional right. Honorable MEC for Detlia, these farm dwellers are not visitors. They are South Africans. They are part of this country. They were born on these farms, and the umbilical cords are buried here. Yet they live without security of tenure and without dignity. The Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, Section 25, subsection 6, guarantees security of tenure and was meant to protect them. But implementation in Mpumalanga remains weak.
Your time is up, Honorable Sidek.
Thank you.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The statement that has been put forward by the Honorable Member is welcomed and noted, and therefore will liaise with the responsible MEC to investigate the matter and respond accordingly. So thank you very much.
Executive statements. I am informed that there are no executive statements. Motions without notice. Are there any motions without notice? Honorable Skwakwa.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. On behalf of the African National Congress, I would like to raise a motion without notice that this House welcomes the establishment of Mpumalanga Agri-BEE provincial structure. Noting that the agricultural structure remains strategic pillar of Mpumalanga economy, contributing significantly to food security, employment and rural development. The province has enormous agricultural potential, particularly in crop production, livestock, horticulture and agro-processing. Further noting that we support its mandate to accelerate meaningful transformation in the agricultural sector, we call for increased support for black farmers, women, youth and agricultural cooperatives. We urge the structure to improve access to finance, productive assets, infrastructure, technology, and markets. Honorable Speaker, we call for stronger support for agro-processing and local agricultural value chain. We reaffirm its commitment to building an inclusive, transformed, and sustainable agricultural economy in the province. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to?
Agreed.
No.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to?
No.
The motion is defeated. Honorable Nxumayo.
Thank you, Speaker. I rise on behalf of Umkhonto weSizwe to move without notice that the House notes the deep concern the numerous complaints received from elders, persons with disabilities, and grant beneficiaries in Nkomazi local municipalities, Nkomazi local municipality regarding the treatment they receive at SASSA offices. Further notes that our elders, who are the custodians of our communities, report that they are subjected to long inhuman queues from as early as 4 a.m. in the morning with no shelter, no chairs or water. Rude, dismissive and disrespectful treatment by some officials, being sent back and forth without clear explanation, leading to repeated costly trips. System of line excuses without proper communication or contingency plan. Honorable Speaker, we must acknowledge that the social grants are not just a favor but constitutional right and a lifeline for the poor, and that SASSA has a constitutional and Batupili obligations to treat beneficiaries with dignity, respect, compassion, in line with Section 10 of the Constitution. We should further acknowledge that many beneficiaries in Nkomazi are elderly, frail, illiterate, and travel long distances from the deep rural villages such as Skumansdal, Komatipoort, Nancy, and Boschfontein, spending their last money on transport. Honorable Speaker, the MK Party would like to resolve as follows: condemn in the strongest terms any form of ill treatment, disrespect, or undignified treatment of elders and grant beneficiaries at any SASSA office in Mpumalanga. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to?
Agreed.
As so agreed. Honorable Mavimbela.
Speaker, I rise to move the motion without notice on behalf of the African National Congress to applaud the Department of Agriculture, Rural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs for the support it gives to women farmers in the province. Noting that Ms. Piwe Ngongwane, a woman farmer from Lohi at Chief Albert Lutuli local municipality near the Oshuk port of entry to the Kingdom of Eswatini, is proving that women can build successful agricultural businesses with the right support and determination. Further noting that Ms. Ngongwane runs the Jigelele Mvila project applied to the goats through the Masibele Sbayeni program on the Department of Agriculture in 2023. After patiently waiting and completing the required assessment process, Ngongwane received 11 goats in 2025. When the department recently visited her farm, officials found that her herd had more than doubled, proving the impact of the program and her commitment to farming. Honorable Speaker, we strongly believe that her experience proves the role women can play in agriculture and that women can become successful farmers. Let us ensure that our rural women are not merely beneficiaries of development, but owners, producers, entrepreneurs, and beneficiaries of the agricultural value chain. I so move.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to?
Agreed.
As so agreed. Honorable Subi.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. I rise on behalf of the EFF to condemn the alleged assault of CPDA driver by traffic officers on the N4 near the Limpopo border. The video circulating publicly, which appeared to show traffic officers assaulting the driver, is deeply disturbing. Those entrusted with enforcing the law cannot themselves become a threat to the very people they are supposed to protect. Law enforcement officers are given authority by the state, but that authority must never become a license to intimidate, assault, or abuse members of the public. We welcome the investigation announced by the Department of Community Safety and Liaising and call for it to be conducted without fear or favor. Where wrongdoing is established, those responsible must face the appropriate consequences. Law enforcement officers are not above the law. The EFF therefore calls for justice for affected driver and accountability for any official found to have abused their authority. I so move.
Question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed. Yes, agreed. Honorable Grobler.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I rise to deliver a motion without notice on behalf of the Democratic Alliance. Honourable Speaker, noting that the Democratic Alliance has, during recent oversight visits to healthcare facilities in Mpumalanga, received allegations from healthcare workers regarding the weaknesses in the province's patient registration and record management systems. These workers have alleged that certain individuals are able to register as patients at multiple clinics and hospitals, thereby obtaining medicines from different public healthcare facilities. It's further alleged that these medicines, which are in demand, like antibiotics, pain medication, cough syrups, and antiretroviral medication, may be obtained through these multiple patient files and subsequently diverted for illegal resale. If substantiated, these allegations raise serious concerns regarding the effectiveness of the Department of Health's patient verification, patient record management, medicine distribution, stock control, and monitoring systems. The alleged practices is confirmed. If the alleged practices are confirmed, it could result in medicine that is intended for our patients in the province illegally being diverted to other countries. There's a need to establish whether these alleged weaknesses are exploited by individuals acting independently or by organized criminal networks. Effective controls over public medicines are essential to ensure that scarce healthcare resources reach the patients who they are intended for. I therefore move that the Mpumalanga Department of Health be instructed to urgently institute a comprehensive investigation into the allegations of individuals allegedly opening multiple patients' files at different healthcare facilities to obtain medicine for illegal redistribution. I so move.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to?
Agreed.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to?
Agreed.
Motion defeated. Honorable Tweni. Are there any motions without notice? Honorable Skaledi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand or rise on behalf of the Democratic Alliance to deliver a motion without notice. Noting the fact that during an oversight in Secunda at the DLTC Services Center, we realized that there were a lot of challenges that were related to infrastructure. The customers there do not have infrastructure or shelter during their visits to cost centers. They do not have a working toilet for them to be able to relieve themselves, and there are other issues that need to be resolved. So I move that the House accepts that the Department of Community Safety, Security and Liaison provides the necessary infrastructure, the toilets, the shelter for the residents to be able to conduct the necessary licensing that they can in a dignified way. Thank you, Speaker.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to?
Agreed.
So agreed. Is there any motion without notice? Notices of motion? Are there notices of motion? Formal motions? Honorable Speaker Lady, you are on notices of motion. Okay. You can proceed.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I would like to table a notice of motion on behalf of the Democratic Alliance, noting the high unemployment rate number is approximately 1.1 million adults in Mpumalanga who are fully unemployed or who have given up on looking for work, and the unemployment or the employment rate is approximately 1.2 million people who are looking for work. Further noting that this should constitute a crisis or a disaster where half of the population that is of working age is unemployed. I move that the high unemployment rate in Mpumalanga, which is also attributed to having the third highest unemployment rate in the country, should be debated in our next sitting. I so move.
The motion is noted and will be dealt with accordingly. Formal motions. Honorable members, there is a formal motion standing on the order paper in the name of the Chief Whip of the Majority Party, Honorable E.N. Makabane. Honorable member, you can proceed to table the motion.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I hereby move that the House notes that provisions of Rule 17, subsection number 1, which states that the legislature shall ordinarily sit at its declared precinct, but may resolve to sit beyond its declared precinct. 2, further note that the legislature has, in line with its constitutional mandate, resolved to intensify public involvement and oversight by taking the legislature to the people. I therefore move that the House adopts a resolution in terms of Rule 17.1, 17 subsection number 1, that the legislature conducts its business at Steve Tshwete Local Municipality from the 31st of August to the 4th of September 2026. Honorable Speaker, I so move. Thank you.
I am informed that there is no debate on this motion. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to?
Agreed.
So agreed. Honorable members, there is another formal motion standing on the order paper in the name of the Chief Whip of the Majority Party, Honorable E.N. Makabane. Honorable member, can you proceed to table the motion?
Honorable Speaker, I hereby move that the House notes that Rule 154, subsection number 1 of the Rules and Orders of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature prescribed that an ad hoc committee may be established by resolution of the or when the legislature is not in session by the Speaker, after consultation with the Chief Whip of the Majority Party and the senior whips of other parties. Further notes that Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature is currently in session. Further notes that the Speaker of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature has received complaint from members of the legislature about inadequate payment of foreign subsistence allowance during their international trips. Therefore, moves in line with Rule number 152, subsection number 1 of the Rules and Orders of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature, that the Speaker shall appoint an ad hoc committee to investigate the payment of foreign subsistence allowance in other provincial legislatures as follows: ANC 3 members, MK 2 members, EFF 1 member, DA 1 member, Action SA 1 member, Freedom Front Plus 1 member, and the committee shall complete its work within 6 months and report back to the House from the date of appointment. Honorable Speaker, I so move. Thank you.
I am informed that there is no debate on this motion. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agree to?
Agree.
So agreed. Orders of the day. The Secretary shall read the first order of the day.
Order number 1, questions for oral reply to members of the Executive Council.
I have a question paper in front of me with questions for oral reply to members of the Executive Council known as MECs. I am informed that the question paper was duly circulated to all members of the legislature. We'll now proceed to questions for oral reply as they appear on the question paper. The first question is from Honorable M.N. Gwenya, EFF, to ask the MEC for Agriculture, Rural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs. We will skip this one, honorable members, because it does not comply with the rules. Let me remind honorable members to abide by the rules. Rule 100, subsection 5, a member may give notice or take charge of a question on behalf of an absent member if the member has been authorized to do so by the member absent. And also Rule 55. (56), not 55. Rule 56. A member may take charge of a motion or an order of the day in the absence of a member in charge, provided he or she has been authorized to do so by such member, and the speaker or any person acting in that capacity has been informed beforehand. This question does not comply with the rules. Then we'll skip that one. Then we'll proceed to the next one, which is from Honorable E.N. Makabane, the ANC, to ask the MEC for education.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to yourself, MECs, all members of this legislature, and the administration today. Honorable Speaker, I have a question before my good self from Honorable Makabane asking the MEC for education. Education is indeed a ladder out of poverty for millions of our people. Today, government has improved education for the majority of our people with standard school facilities and improved outcomes. The completion of beautiful Godide Secondary School in Bushbuck Ridge is extremely appreciated. Construction of Shanke, Chayaza schools and Kokovela primary schools also in Bushbuck Ridge further testify the government commitment to education. In view of the above, can the MEC share with the House to anticipate the date for the completion of the above-mentioned schools in Bushbuck Ridge? In response to these questions, Honorable Speaker, indeed, when the current administration declared that Gubunya Lutfuli eMpumalanga, we knew then that this was not just a mantra, but a statement of commitment. Just on the 3rd of August 2026, we officially handed over a state-of-the-art and the first secondary school of performing arts in the province, named in honor of the late musical icon, and the Lucky Dube Secondary School in Msugalikwa local municipality. On Thursday, the 6th of August 2026, we also handed another beautiful school, Silulu Secondary School in Komazi local municipality, as well as the state-of-the-art Chief Mandinda Early Childhood Development Center, also in Komazi local municipality. On Thursday, the 27th of August, we will be handing over another state-of-the-art school, Extension 24 Primary School in Rockdale, Steve Tshwete municipality. Honorable Speaker, this confirms that it is not a business as usual, but a clear demonstration of determination to improve conditions for learning and teaching in our province. The 3 schools you referred to, Honorable Makabane, are scheduled for completion as follows. Shanke Secondary School, where there is refurbishment of existing 6 classrooms, 30 enviro-loo toilets, as well as construction of 28 new classroom, administration block, computer center, MST laboratories, library, kitchen, school hall, guardhouse, fence, electricity, car park, and 3 sports ground is planned for completion on the 23rd of April 2027. Chayaza Secondary School, where there is a construction of 20 classroom, an admin block, science lab, media and maths laboratory, library, computer lab, kitchen, multipurpose hall, chemistry and technical lab, sports court, uncovered assembly point, covered parking bays, new fencing, and a guardhouse is also scheduled for completion on the 10th of September 2027. Meanwhile, Kokovela Primary School, with the construction of admin block, 3 grade R classroom, new 2x3 classroom blocks, renovation of 2x4 classroom blocks, new library, demolition of existing food outlet, construction of new kitchen, alteration of 1x4 classroom block, covered assembly, drop area. Oh my God. My apologies. Thank you. It just shut down. Oh my God. What is happening here? Thank you very much. We are just that meanwhile, Kokovela Primary School, with the construction of admin block, 3 grade R classroom blocks, 3 new 2x3 classroom blocks, renovation of 2x4 classroom blocks, new library, demolition of existing food outlet, construction of new kitchen, alteration of 1x4 classroom block, covered assembly, drop-off area, and 23 covered parking areas and external works will be completed on the 15th of November 2026. Indeed, Honorable Speaker, Gupunyal Tuli in Mpumalanga, Honorable Makhabane, as construction is underway in Long-Term Secondary School, Mokebe Secondary School, Perekop, Tidimalo, Phase 1 and 2. Our plan is that these also become available for use in the academic year 2027. Can the MEC briefly highlight cumulative local beneficiation, such as employment in the areas where these schools are constructed? Indeed, Honorable Makhabane, a total of 81 work opportunities have been created and 12 SMMEs have benefited from the 3 projects that I've just alluded to. The construction of Shanke Secondary School created 17 work opportunities, which are inclusive of 6 young people and 6 women. This construction also benefited 4 SMMEs. The Chayaza Secondary School construction created 31 work opportunities, which are inclusive of 11 youth and 8 women. This construction also benefited 5 SMMEs. The construction of Kokovela Primary School created 33 work opportunities, which are inclusive of 15 young people, 8 women, and 1 person with disability. This construction benefited 3 SMMEs. Overall, the 3 projects created 39.5% job opportunities and 27% youth and 27% for women, 1.2% for people with disabilities. Question number 3, with specific reference to Shanke Secondary School as an MSTA, can the MEC indicate if the requisites such as laboratories essential for MST have been met? Indeed, Honorable Makhabane, Shanke Secondary School, like all other schools, received requisite support and resources to enable them to improve the delivery of teaching and learning. In 2025, Shanke Secondary School gave us or registered an impressive 86% pass rate in the National Senior Certificate Examination results, which was an improvement of 9.2%. We therefore attribute this improvement to the support and resources provided by the department, amongst other things. The resources which were provided include consumables and apparatus to conduct practical work in the science subjects, 36 laptops and lab trolley to enable the school to introduce computer application technology subject. The school also received 2 extra teacher posts for mathematics and physical science that are aimed at supporting the school to improve learner performance. The department continues to provide structured and extensive teacher training to support all teachers to perform practical work during teaching and learning and to improve understanding of the MST subjects in the schools. All grade 12 learners are provided with tablets comprising of e-material for the learning of mathematics and physical science, accounting, life sciences, which are core subjects in the MSTA schools. This e-material includes videos for laboratory simulations, thus enabling learners to learn and do experiments outside the confines of the 4 walls of their classes. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Makhabane, do you have follow-up questions? Honorable MEC, can not switch off your mic? I request all MECs when they respond, you must not switch off the mic because the mic speaks to the time there.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Yes, I do have a follow-up question. Honorable MEC, thank you very much for the responses, and also thank you for mentioning other schools other than the ones that I have mentioned in my questions. The follow-up question is that, Honorable MEC, where after the inception of the 7th administration, can the MEC give us the number of schools that have been revamped and the number of schools that have been built in total as a province? Thank you.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Makhabane. Indeed, we do have a number of schools that have been revamped, but I may not have the exact number. If the Honorable Chief Whip can allow us to give that response in writing within a reasonable time.
The response must reach our office within 10 days. Are there any follow-up questions? Honorable I'm the presiding officer, Honorable Mkabela. You must not disrupt.
Assisting that presiding officer who can't look around. There's a hand.
The assistance of the presiding officer.
There's a hand.
Is the deputy.
Hey, there's a hand
the
here.
Deputy speaker.
There's a hand.
Is the chair of chairs.
Leave that thing. There's a hand.
Deputy
Respond
chair
to the
of
hand.
chairs, and you are not amongst.
Not the hand. I know who I am. Here's the hand.
Honorable Demante.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, MEC, for outlining the schools that have been built in Bushbuck Ridge. My question is, in all these schools, because the people whom I'm very much concerned to are the people with disability. Can the MEC maybe tell us that how many schools from these ones that are being mentioned is a school for special learners or people with disability?
Honorable ABC.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Demande, out of the schools that I've mentioned, there's no specific school that is meant for people with disability. However, as the department, we've got a plan for the school that is already in pipeline that will be constructed. Where I am, I know that it is at a level where, I mean, the tender will be out, the school for the deaf and blind in Emalahleni. But in these that I've tabled, there is no one.
Honorable Sidibe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me greet you and the honorable members and also welcome our former member, Cyril Chweni, in this house. Though I'm blaming TA because they are compromising gender now. They should have replaced a woman with a woman.
Proceed with the questions.
They must not be post choir like the official opposition in front of
Honorable Sidibe, it's time for
Okay, thank you.
follow-up questions.
Well, MEC, we appreciate the construction of new school in Pushpak Ridge and the other areas that you have mentioned. So my question is, your predecessor or the department made commitment here, which was also part of the previous SOPA, that the department will construct new schools in Nelspruit and White River. So what about those schools? Because I don't hear you mentioning them in all the schools that you have mentioned. What happened to that commitment? Thank you, Speaker. And just to add, are there sporting facilities in those schools, sports ground and everything for the learners there?
In terms of the schools that have presented, there are sports ground. It may not have all the grounds for all the sporting codes, but there are grounds where we are also asking our communities, our business people to also support us by also extending those courts that we are having so that it can accommodate all other sporting ground. But those that are formally being available, like your soccer, your netball, most of those are available. In terms of the commitment that were made, I think I must confirm that no commitment that has been made that will not continue. I think one is just to need to check. I know that there's a school that we are going to implement or construct in White River. I will have to check with the Nelspruit one, but I want to confirm that all those that were committed, they are in pipeline. They are going to be, implemented. It's just that here I presented those that we have already completed, those that are in plan for this current financial year. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Speaker.
Honorable members, can you please stick to the follow-up questions?
Yeah, it's not a follow-up.
Not placing new questions.
Yes, Speaker. I raised that I think the MEC.
I did not note you, Honorable Chibi.
Yeah, but not me.
I know. Sit down.
Okay. I'm raising a hand to call the order to the person who is in the podium.
You can proceed with
Yes,
the point
Speaker.
of order.
I think, Speaker, it's wrong for MEC to mislead the House. Because as we speak now, Godide High School that they're referring to doesn't have a soccer ground. They said they're going to deal with it when they hand over the school. That ground, as we speak now, children cannot play, cannot utilize it. It's got a deep, they were supposed to backfill it and re-gravel it proper, so that the kids can able to play. As we speak now, that ground is not playable. So there is no soccer facility that is done in that Godide High School. So they must go back and make sure that they fix that mess. She's misleading when she says there is sports facility. It's not there. I'm from there. Yesterday.
Honorable MEC.
Speaker, thank you very much. I wasn't referring to Godide, but I was referring to the schools that I have mentioned now that we have constructed. You have mentioned that matter. I have made a commitment that we are going to go back to Godide and check that commitment that was made by the Premier, that we are going to make sure that the sporting facilities are also put. But I was referring to the other schools. Thank you very much.
Honorable Chibi.
I want to check with you. Are you agreeing that it's not done?
Honorable Chibi, I did not note you.
No, I'm asking her that she's
Chibi,
agreeing that it's not done.
Take your seat.
It's not done.
Take your seat. Take your seat. Honorable members, I was referring to you to say you must not place new questions because you are deviating from the initial question. When you do follow-ups, you must do follow-ups based on the question, not on new questions. Now, the MEC is responding to new questions, and you are referring her to the old question. And the MEC responded on the Kodite one that they will be going back. There's no need for you to say
the question that I'm asking.
The MEC must agree. The MEC is agreeing that
It's not done.
Kodide, they will go back and look into the issue of the playgrounds.
They must not look at it. It's not done.
Take your seat.
So that notion that they're saying the school is complete is wrong. They're misleading.
Take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat, Honorable Kibi. Can I allow Honorable Masango?
Yeah, thank you, Speaker, and thank you for extending the time. Honourable Speaker, I just want to check with the MEC. MEC spoke about this, one of the out of the school. And I'm looking, Speaker, on the budget is always limited. There are so many schools that needs to be revamped or redone. And we got so much population that is growing that we need more schools. And I'm just wondering whether this top of the class schools or top of the class infrastructure that we're building, is it really assisting us to meet the schools that are needed and meet the target? Because I don't think it is sustainable where we spend millions or billions on a school when we need so many schools. Thank you, Speaker.
Honorable MEC.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The schools that we are building, we are trying to make sure that they are able to meet all the requirements of the current time. Remember, we are now mostly digital. We cannot build the old school that was used by ourselves when there are no more amenities that might be needed in the school. That is why we are calling it a state of the art, because they possesses all those other amenities like your laboratories that are equal to the task right now, that are able to speak to the needs of today. Remember, now we are talking robotics, we are talking all sorts of things digitally. So that is why we are trying to make sure that when we build school, we are building schools that are going to speak to the current times. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable MEC. The next question, which is from Honorable MN Gwenya, falls off. Then we'll proceed to question 41. The question from Honorable TA Skaledi TA to ask the MEC Community Safety and Security and Liaison. This must be in a written response. Then question number 42 from Honorable BJ Mkwebane MK Party to ask the MEC for Culture, Sports and Recreation. This question does not comply with the rules, Rule 100, Subsection 5 and Rule 55. We did not receive any apology from Honorable Mkwebane. Then we'll proceed to the next question, which is from Honorable T.R. Nkonyane, ANC, to ask the MEC for Education.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The Honorable Nkonyane to ask the MEC for Education following that the damaged school infrastructure directly blocks quality learning and teaching environments in our schools. Considering the above statement, can the Honorable MEC provide a reflection in terms of school infrastructure backlog in the province? Indeed, thank you very much, Honorable Nkonyane. Notwithstanding the fact that the provincial government continues to build and add the number of classes every year, it is a fact that the backlog still persists. As per the 2027-2028 Draft Infrastructure Asset Management Plan, the 2022 census population figures revealed that the province has a backlog of 733 new schools, 496 primary schools, and 237 secondary schools, which will require about 62.23 billion rand to build. The province has got 17 schools that are currently operating from mobile classrooms. Of these, 2 are under construction, while the remaining 15 require an estimation or an estimated 1.13 billion for the proper construction. An estimated 67 billion is required to address the basic infrastructure backlog in the department, which will include building new schools, improving sanitation, removal of asbestos, and removal of structures that are not habitable and unsafe for our children and teachers. In the current financial year, 2026-27, the department is addressing the following number of schools as per the economic classification or program. In terms of the new schools, there are 3 schools that we are building, that is Long-Term Secondary School, Rockdale Primary, Pertekop Secondary. Though 2 were meant to have been completed in the previous financial year, but there were delays. In terms of the replacement of schools, there are 11 under construction, which is Langa Secondary, Shanke Secondary, Chayaza Secondary, Kokovela Primary, Mokebe Secondary, Didimalo, Trichardsfontein, Sidlamafa, Sitseng, Mahluche, Manyakata. While 2 are still under procurement processes, which is Mavimbela Primary School and Siboshwa Primary. Upgrades and additions, 2 schools are under construction, which is Lukebuta and Farrell Primary, while 2 are still under procurement processes, which is Lihau Secondary and Chuklego Primary. The replacement of asbestos structures, 4 schools still will be addressed, and they are Nelsville Primary, Klapspruit Combined, Lyre School Bad Plus, and Hlangwezwe Primary, while 1 school is being addressed by a donor, which is Mpepete Primary. We also got a program of 8 classrooms where we have identified 10 schools where we're going to provide them with 8 classrooms as a quick measure to reduce the backlog for unsafe structures. Can the Honorable MEC update this August House with the progress on the monitoring of the renovation of the 13 affected schools and additionally the refurbishment of Mzinti Primary School? In response to that, the department continues to undertake rigorous and ongoing monitoring of renovation of 13 schools under construction, including the refurbishment of Mzinti Primary School, which is one of the 10 schools currently receiving 8 classrooms each to address and replace dilapidated and unsafe structures. This rigorous monitoring is informed by our firm commitment to ensure that all learners are provided with safe and conducive environments for teaching and learning. Through regular site inspections, progress reporting, and collaboration with implementing agents, the department is able to maintain visibility on the status of each project. As a result of these sustained monitoring efforts, we can report that several of the projects are at varying stages of completion, with some nearing finalization, while others are progressing steadily in line with approval plans. The department remains resolute in its commitment to accelerate the pace of delivery, minimizing disruptions to schooling, and ultimately realize the overarching objective of improving schools' infrastructure to support quality education across the province. The next question, can the Honorable MEC update this August House in terms of progress made so far on the eradication of pit toilets in the province? As of June 2026, there is no recorded school which is solely relying only on pit toilets across the province. However, there are still 35 schools recorded having pits on sites due to various reasons that are listed and the progress thereof. 15 of these schools are having both proper toilets and the pits due to high learner enrollment, and 7 out of those 15 were already addressed and 2 are currently under construction. 13 of them are still using pits due to water challenges because they were provided with waterborne toilets, but the challenge still stands, that one of water. So the department is trying to explore options on how to resolve this issue of water without incurring wasteful expenditure. 7 schools did not allow the demolition of pit toilets when we were building this waterborne toilet. In the 2024, due to the recent water supply challenges, the department is exploring ways to improve water supplies, working with municipalities. Basically, there are 20 schools which are still relying on pit toilets as a result of having been provided with flushing toilets, but they can't use them due to water challenges. It should be noted, Honorable Speaker, that this backlog is a moving target because the department sometimes discover that some schools do construct this pit toilet without, informing the department on their own due to frustration they have related to water challenges. Primary schools with fewer than 135 learners and secondary schools with fewer than 200 learners may be considered for merger or closure as part of rationalization and realignment. How many of the above mentioned schools are going to undergo the process in the current financial year? A total of 23 schools is targeted for closure at the end of 2026 academic year, subject to engagements with stakeholders. 19 of these are in Gersibande, 2 in Kangala, and 2 in Ehlanzeni. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Nkonyane, do you have follow-up questions?
Thank you very much, Speaker. MEC, my follow-up question is number 4. Before ni vala le ikolo, do you do proper consultations with the stakeholders such as SGBs, the traditional leaders, and also the municipalities and the teachers union? And if you do, what was their response?
Thank you very much, Honorable Nkonyane. Indeed, the department does consult with all the stakeholders. But I can tell you right now, most of them, they do not agree on the closure of the schools. In the main, they believe that the schools have been there for quite some time and their children, it is nearer to their children. But for the department, they are no more viable, these schools, because you may find that there are 80 children, all the grades, so they become multi-graded classrooms. And no teachers want to go to those schools in the main. So that is why we're trying to make sure that we take them to a school where they are going to get, proper education, proper learning. That is why we are taking them to the nearest boarding schools or to the nearest schools where at least teaching and learning is taking place safely and conducively. Yes, but we do, conduct a consultation with all the stakeholders.
Follow-up questions from other members? Honorable Ndimane.
Thank you, Speaker. I'm so happy when the MEC illustrate about the schools that are going to be merged with other schools, because we are having a problem with other schools, especially the school in Middelburg. They call it Ipani Agricultural School. That school must be closed because the learners, there are too little, and the number of learners is not, there are not many there. So I think if the MEC can also merge that school, because that school is so poor, the financial of that school is so embarrassing. So I think if that school can be merged with other schools, for not learners to go to that school traveling, some of them that are traveling, maybe we are going to make the traveling lesser for those learners. So if that school can be merged. Honorable MEC, the other question I'm having is that there are schools that
Honorable member, can you please take your seat? Honorable members, if you are not the author of the question, You are allowed to raise one question, not two. Only the author can raise two questions. Honorable MEC.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Indeed, the department will do its own investigation. Indeed, if it finds that there is a need to match that school, indeed, it's going to happen. Thank you very much.
Honorable Mkabela.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I welcome the responses from the questions that were raised by Honorable Nkonyana. They are assisting all of us as the members of the Portfolio Committee. Honorable MEC, I'm just worried about those 20 schools that you are mentioning that they don't allow you to demolish the pit toilets. I'm just checking whether they have a right to do that because it's not coming from yourself or your department. This thing has been initiated nationally that it must be done. And sitting here now, there are still schools that are refusing you to do the right thing. The reason that they said the pit toilet must be demolished is because they were causing problems in schools. At the end of the day, when there's a kid that is falling there inside the pit toilet, it's you who's going to pay a lot of money. And they're not going to say it's us who refuse that the department demolish these pit toilets. Thank you very much.
Honorable MEC.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Indeed, Honorable Mkabela, it's not a very good thing that the schools are denying us to demolish those pit toilets. But due to the reason that they always give, we are also trying to make sure we also assist them. There is an intervention that the department is putting forth to ensure that this issue of water, because they also give that reason that if we close them, when there's no water, there's no any other alternative. But we want to work with all the municipalities where we're affected, that let's make sure that where we have built water pond toilets, they are fully functional. There's enough water for them to function. Thank you very much.
Honorable Chweni.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you for welcoming me. Honorable Speaker, no, the leader of the DFF is out. Okay. Honorable Speaker, I just wanted to check with the MEC as to why do they deliver flushable toilets where they know and everyone knows that there is no water? So what's the use? Why do you put the cat before the horse? Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, it's not that there is no water. There is challenge with water because from time to time there's challenge. There's no water coming out from the pipes. So that is why we're saying there's challenge, not necessarily that there's no water at all.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC. We'll now move to the next question, which is from Honorable T.S. Mavimbela, ANC, to ask the MEC for Cooperative Governance, Human Settlements and Traditional Affairs. And we have received an apology from the Honorable MEC, and Honorable Sidel will stand in for the Honorable MEC Mashilo.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Indeed, I am standing in for Honorable Mashilo to respond on a question that was asked by Honorable T.S. Mavimbela from the ANC, asking the MEC for Cooperative Governance, Human Settlements and Traditional Affairs. The latest Auditor General report on South African municipalities paints a concerning picture of local government, revealing that only 15%, which is 39 municipalities, has achieved clean audits, while there are some green shoots, such as drop in repeat disclaimers, opinions, and a 98% financial submission rate, widespread service delivery failures, deteriorating infrastructure, and mismanagement persist. The question thereof is, considering the above, can the Honorable MEC give a reflection to this august House on the above statement? The response thereof is indeed, Honorable Member, in Mpumalanga, these audit outcomes shows that some municipalities have indeed improved, whilst most municipalities with unqualified audit outcomes and findings had stagnated for the past 4 years. to 5 years. The number of municipalities with clean audits has been decreasing over the years. The positive aspect of these outcomes is that there are no disclaimers or adverse findings. This has led the department to implement an audit improvement support plan to address the situation. There are 12 municipalities with unqualified audit outcomes with findings, 7 qualified municipalities, and 1 clean audit outcome. Furthermore, there were 4 improvements from qualified to unqualified with findings. These are Chief Albert Lutuli Local Municipality, Dipaliseng Local Municipality, Governing Beki Local Municipality, and Tabacheu Local Municipality. Sadly, there were 2 regressions, Honorable Member. That is Nkangala District Municipality that has moved from a clean audit to an unqualified with findings, and Mkondo Local Municipality that also moved from an unqualified findings with a qualified. The second question, can the Honorable MEC give an update as to how many of the 17 local municipalities, including the 3 district municipalities in the province, were affected? The response thereof is, it is very encouraging to note that in Mpumalanga, no municipalities have received disclaimers and adverse audit opinions. Regarding the annual financial statement submissions, all our municipalities have submitted on time by the legislated deadline. And the third question is, can the Honorable MEC share with us, August House, as to how poor municipal audit outcomes in the province can directly impact residents through the inadequate service delivery? The response thereof is that the status of the audit outcomes does not necessarily mean there is no service delivery. Audit outcomes are determined by numerous factors such as poor record keeping, high UIFW expenditures, poor presentation of information in the annual financial statements, and also the misreporting of performance indicators and information, and failure to follow proper supply chain management processes, amongst others. Municipalities do deliver services, but the challenge is recording the information required for the preparation of the annual financial statements and the performance reports. Proof that service delivery is not necessarily impacted by audit outcomes, audits of the service delivery targets and projects in municipalities show they are achieved in line with the service delivery and budget implementation plans of various municipalities. And the fourth question, can the Honorable MEC give an update on how many municipalities were adversely affected after the Treasury withholds July funding to municipalities, and which are those municipalities? The response thereof is, in the Mpumalanga province, 3 municipalities were affected by the National Treasury equitable share withholding, namely the Nkomazi Local Municipality for arrears in the Eskom debt, and as well as Emakazeni Local Municipality for arrears in the Auditor General fees, and Victor Kanye Local Municipality for the arrears in Rand Water debt. These municipalities have since addressed the concerns that were raised by the National Treasury and have received their equitable shares. We commend prompt action in resolving this matter by these 3 municipalities. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Those were the questions to the Honorable Member.
Honorable Mavimbela, do you have follow-up questions?
Thank you, Speaker. I'm covered. I don't have any follow-up question. It is covered from number 1. Thank you.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Thank you, Honorable MEC. We'll proceed to the next question. The question is from Honorable Archibi, EFF, towards the MEC for Community Safety, Security and Liaison. And we have received an apology from the Honorable MEC Masie, and Honorable Masina will stand in for Honorable Masie.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. On behalf of Honorable Masie, there's a question from Honorable Kibi that Mpumalanga continues to experience an increase in violent crime, including murder, kidnapping, extortion, stock theft, and gender-based violence. At the same time, the Department Civilians Oversight Program which is responsible for monitoring SAPS, supporting community policing forums, and coordinating social crime prevention initiatives, has seen its budget reduced by over 20%. In response, Honorable Speaker, what informed the decision to reduce the budget of the civilian oversight program at a time when the violent crime continues to escalate across the province is that the reduction resulted from the restructuring of the crime prevention wardens into GPV brigades and the traffic wardens. The traffic wardens budget was transferred to Program 3, Transport Regulation, reducing program allocations. This was therefore a budget realignment, not a reduction in crime prevention capacity, as GPF brigades and crime prevention officers continues implementing interventions against these violent crimes. What interventions has department implemented to reduce incidents of murder, kidnappings, and other violent crimes during the 2026-2027 financial year? During the 26-27 financial year, the department conducted community awareness campaigns in the Calcutta and Hazy View policing precincts. These were supported by weekly intelligence-led operations targeting wanted suspects and intensified visible policing patrols in identified violent crime hotspots. How will the department ensure that the reduced budget does not weaken oversight of SAPS and community crime prevention initiatives? The budget reductions relates exclusively to transfer of crime prevention wardens allocation and does not affect funding for SAPS oversight or community crime prevention programs. The department will therefore continue implementing its legislated oversight mandate, monitoring SAPS performance and supporting community safety structures without disruptions. I think that's where the questions end, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much.
Honorable Tribi, do you have follow-up questions?
Thank you very much, Speaker. Shem, Dr. Vutsala ye MEC Luangwan Shem, no one got member Litwana, Naya Shang Shula Sha education. I want so.
Honorable Tribi, can you please withdraw?
Shakwi, you withdraw Shaku in Davutsalwa 1.
Yeah, can you please withdraw?
What?
Can you please withdraw? Because in terms of our rules,
No, I don't have any problem to withdraw. I'm asking which part must I withdraw? I withdraw the whole statement, or what am I withdrawing?
you said the MEC is failing on her department. Can you please withdraw that? Honorable Tribi, can you please withdraw that? Honorable Tribi, can you please withdraw?
No, no vula swaku mara intiyiso a ni heta ku hlamula sweswi swa xikola xiyelanga se ni a nge swi koti ku hlamula leswiwa because a hi department ya yena so yi xijoho xa me kwalani.
Honorable Tribi, can you please withdraw?
No. One cindezela. Okay.
Honorable Tribi.
Okay, andrivaleli.
Honorable Tribi, I did not hear you on the last part.
Marito ulama ni matherisela ndzhaku inkomu.
Yeah. Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Thank you, Honorable MEC. The next question is from Honorable S.J. Masango from the DA to ask the MEC for cooperative governance, human settlements, and traditional affairs, and this question must be in writing. Then we'll proceed to the next question, which is from Honorable P. Ishongwe, the MK Party, to ask the MEC for agriculture, rural development, land, and environmental affairs. And we have received an apology from the Honorable Moketsi and Honorable Sidel will stand in for Honorable Mokitsi.
Thanks once again, Honorable Speaker. Honorable P.E. Shongwe from the MK Party to ask Honorable MEC for Agriculture, Rural Development.
Sorry, MEC, for that. I just received a notification from the MKP that this question must be in writing.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Then we'll proceed with the next question. The next question is from the Honorable DP Nkosi from the ANC to ask the MEC for Cooperative Governance, Human Settlements and Traditional Affairs. Also, this question does not comply with the rules. We did not receive any apology from Honorable DP Nkosi and did not indicate who will stand in for him. Then we'll proceed with the next question, which is from Honorable NP Mkabela, EFF, to ask the MEC for Health.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The question from Honorable NP Mkabel to ask the Minister of Health. Recent reports have highlighted that almost 300 girls aged 10 to 14 gave birth in the Western Cape between April and December 2025, prompting concern that these pregnancies may indicate statutory rape and failures in child protection system. Mpumalanga has also reported a high number of teenage pregnancies generally, with the Department of Health indicating that thousands of teenagers gave birth during 2025, making it essential to understand how many involved children aged 10 to 14 and what intervention are in place. Will the MEC provide the answers? First question, the number of girls aged 10 to 14 who became pregnant and gave birth in Mpumalanga during 2025-26 financial year, broken down by district and municipality. In the province, we recorded 225 teenage pregnancy, and the highest district is Ehlanzeni with 132, followed by Nkangala at 48 and Kharisibande at 45. And when we look at the local municipality at Ehlanzeni, the highest is Bushbuckridge at 58 and City of Mbombela, Nonkomazi at 36, followed by City of Mbombela at 33 and Tabacho 5. And Kharisibande, the highest is Mkhondo at 12 and Sugalugwa at 11 and Likwa 14, Govenbig 4, Dr. Pitkaisa 2 and Dipalse 1. And Kangala, the highest municipality is Tembisile at 12. The highest is Malahleni at 16, followed by Tembisile at 12, and Steve Chwete and J.S. Morocco at 7, and Victor Kanye at 4, and Emakhazen at 2. And those were last financial year. And this quarter, for this financial year, we have recorded 54 in the whole province, and the highest remain at Ehlanzeni with 33, followed by Kharisibande at 11 and Nkangala at 10. But if you look at the numbers, they are in a way reducing. And Bushbuckridge remained the highest, but this time at the same level with City of Mbombela at 12, followed by Nkomazi at 8 and Tabacho at 1. And in Kharisibande, the numbers are a little bit low because the highest is Likwa at 4, followed by Msuka Likwa and Govenbeg at 2 each, and the rest, Chifalbetu Dipaliseng, Pixley and Msuka and Pixley at 1. And in Nkangala, the numbers are very low, the highest being Malahleni at 6, followed by Steve Chwete at 3, Tembisile 1, and the other municipalities, Victor Kanye, Emakhazen, Dr. J.S. Morocco, they have not recorded in. The second question is that what protocol are followed by health facilities when a pregnancy involved a child under the age of 16 is identified, including whether every case is reported to the South African Police Services and the Department of Social Development for investigation and child protection intervention. We must indicate that when a pregnancy involving a child under the age of 16 is identified at a public health facility, the facility follows established protocol aimed at safeguarding the child, ensuring access to appropriate healthcare services, and facilitating the necessary child protection intervention in accordance with applicable legislation and departmental guidelines. As protocol guided and mandated by the Children's Act 2005, Act number 38 of 2005, particularly Section 110, health facilities routinely complete Form 22, report of abuse, deliberate neglect, exploitation, and other needs for care and protection. When a child below the age of consent present for delivery services or request access to choice of termination of pregnancy services, where there are reasonable ground to suspect abuse, neglect, exploitation, or the commission of sexual offense. The completed Form 22 is submitted to the Department of Social Development to facilitate a child protection assessment and the implementation of appropriate intervention upon receipt of the report. The Department of Social Development undertakes the necessary child protection investigation and intervention in accordance with the legislative mandate and prescribed procedures. Where circumstances indicate that a sexual offense may have been committed, or where there is reasonable suspicion of abuse, exploitation, or other criminal conduct, the matter is referred to the South African Police Service for investigation in line with the applicable legal and reporting requirement. In addition, the Department of Health Forensic Directorate compiles and analyzes quarterly reports on reported cases. These reports are used to monitor trends, strengthen oversight, support intersectoral collaboration, and enhance coordination between the Department of Health, the Department of Social Development, SAPS, and other relevant stakeholders involved in child protection and safeguarding. The reporting and referral process are intended to ensure that vulnerable children receive the necessary protection, support services, and intervention while safeguarding their access to healthcare. The other question, what measures has the department implemented together with the Department of Education, Social Development, and SAPS to reduce child am I not repeating? Strengthening prevention program and ensure perpetrators of sexual offense against child and brought to justice. The Department of Health works collaboratively with the Department of Education, Social Development, South Civil Society, organizations, and other stakeholders to implement a range of intervention aimed at reducing child and teenage pregnancies, strengthening prevention program, and ensuring appropriate response to cases involving sexual offense against children. The department is supporting the implementation of the provincial interdepartmental multi-sectoral community-based intervention structure, which serves as a coordinating platform for integrated service delivery. The structure facilities collaborate across sectoral to strengthen prevention, early identification of vulnerable children, referrals, case management, and follow-up services at community level. In addition, the department has facilitated the development of provincial multi-sectoral implementation plan to reduce child and teenage pregnancy, developed in a consultation with sector departments, civil society organization, and the Office of the Prim. The implementation plan provides a coordinated framework for prevention, awareness, support services, and accountability measures aimed at addressing the drivers of child and teenage pregnancy. The plan is currently awaiting approval by the Executive Council. The Department of Health further contributes to prevention efforts through the provision of comprehensive sexual and reproductive health services, including health education, access to contraceptive services, youth-friendly healthcare services, and community awareness program targeting adolescents, parents, caregivers, and communities. Working with the Department of Education, health promotion and awareness initiatives are implemented to strengthen learners' knowledge of sexual and reproductive health, a healthy relationship, and available support services. Those interventions align with broader effort to reduce risky behavior and prevent unintended pregnancies among children and adolescents. The Department of Social Development provides prevention and early intervention program, psychosocial support services,
Child Protection Services and Family Strengthening Initiative for children identified as vulnerable or at risk through established referral pathway. Children identified through the health system are linked to the appropriate social support and protection services. Where there is reasonable suspicion of evidence of sexual offense, we refer to SAPS, and the department cooperate with SAPS and the Department of Social Development. Through those coordination multi-intervention, the department seeks to address the underlying causes of child and teenage pregnancy, strengthen the child's protection. I took long because I wanted to indicate that there are systems in place that we are putting and the program that we are working together that we submitted to ESCO, so that ESCO can also assist us in coordination of all the department, but also as cluster social protection. We have looked at this matter. We have agreed that we will continuously monitor it, starting from the school, from all, because we are all in one cluster, and because this is a serious matter that we are dealing with. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Mkabela, do you have follow-up questions?
Let me start, Honorable Speaker, by appreciating the detailed report from the Honorable Mr. Manzini, and safe to indicate that since we have received all the stats and everything, I will therefore make follow-up or in a form of a question to the Department of Safety and Security, because the Department of Health, I believe they've done everything that they're supposed to do on their side. Then the question now will go straight to MEC Masi, whether there are arrests of these culprits who are sleeping with these 10 to 14, 10 to 16-year-old children, girls, because this is a statutory rape. There's no child that can, we can say she agreed to sleep with a man who can impregnate them. So we are going to take forward the question or the follow-up to the relevant Safety and Security MEC. Thank you very much, Honorable Manzini, for the responses.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Honorable Chweni.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I just wanted to check with the MEC on, in the response to question 2, because I hear the Honorable Member Mkabela saying the issue will lie in the Department of Safety and Security, but police can arrest if cases are not open, and there will be nothing to investigate more if the MEC has found that a 16-year has given a 16-year has given birth. When a 16-year has given birth,
Honorable
automatically.
Chweni, can you please take your seat? Honorable Malachi, is that a point of order?
Yes, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think Honorable Chweni is responding on behalf of the MEC. He's not asking. So, can you attend to it, Honorable Speaker?
Can we allow Honorable Chweni to proceed?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Let me be short. I just wanted to check with the MEC as to what are the investigation about, because if a 16-year-old has given birth, obviously there was a statutory rape, a crime has been committed. Why they don't open cases? Why do they want to fill the form, what, and what? They must just open the case so that the next department can come over. So it's not two way about it. Why are they not opening the cases? Is my question, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable MEC.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we are governed by legislation. You don't just do as you wish or you think is easier. Hence, there's process in terms of the legislation. The role of the Department of Health is to fill a Form 22. Department of Social Development takes over and they work also together with SAPS. That is how the law is working. We can't do something outside the legislation and think, oh, then because the child is there, you don't have the capacity. We know that the next level have got more capacity to deal with the matter. So it doesn't work like that. You can't do something that is not in the legislation. We follow it and implement. We don't make policies. Honorable members are part of the policy making. You must go and amend it then and make sure that the Department of Health do everything. But for now, we can't do our own legislation and do things that are wrong. We follow it, we implement it as an executive authority. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yeah, proper welcome, MEC.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, MEC. If there are matters of mutual interest that are cutting across departments, portfolio committees are allowed to convene joint committee meetings so that they invite the relevant portfolio, the relevant MECs to come and account in terms of their roles and responsibilities. Can we move to the next question? The next question, which is from Honorable B. Grobler from the DA towards the MEC for Culture, Sport and Recreation, and this question must be in writing. Question number 51. Honorable Pippi Nxumayo, MKP, towards the MEC for Community Safety, Security and Liaison, and this question must also be in writing. Question number 52. The Honorable A.M. Weber, DA, towards the MEC for Social Development, and this question must be also in writing. Then we'll proceed to question 53. The Honorable G.M. Demand the MK to ask the MEC for Education.
Sorry, Honorable Speaker, was my questions answered in writing? Oh, did you? Okay, thank you.
I have been informed by your Chief Whip that all your questions from the Democratic Alliance must be in writing. I am ruling on that basis. The next question is from Honorable G.M. Demande, MK Party, to ask the MEC for Education. Over to you, Honorable MEC.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The Honorable GM Demande, MK Party, asking MEC for Education. What is your plan to improve the quality of education and the performance of struggling schools in Mpumalanga, including Delft, Farm, and other rural areas? In our response, the department has made impressive inroads to improve delivery of quality education to schools, especially those in rural communities. The current 86.55% pass rate in grade 12 National Senior Certificate Examination result, and the fact that Mpumalanga has one of the highest throughput rate at 76% bears a testimony. Rural schools have been declared no-fee schools. Learners are provided with meals through the National School Nutrition Program. This year, all schools are provided with breakfast. Learners who walk more than 5 kilometers are provided with scholar transport. All these schools are taught by highly qualified teachers. Infrastructure is being improved, and all grades are subjected to constant monitoring and requisite support. Ubuhlebuzile e-learning programs targets and benefits learners from these schools. These are some of the practical ways which are extended to schools in rural villages designated to be in quintile 1 to 3. The next question, what is being done to reduce teacher shortages and improve accountability in schools? Please provide the vacancy rate per district. In response to this, Honorable Speaker, what is being done to reduce teacher shortages and improve accountability in schools? The department has implemented systems to ensure that every classroom has a teacher. An approved business process allows schools to advertise vacant post-level 1 teacher posts as soon as they become available and fill these within 7 days.
For vacant promotional posts, including HODs, deputy principals, and principal posts, posts may appoint temporary post-level 1 educators against those vacancies, while at the same time appointing personnel to act at these promotional posts. To support schools with educator supply, the department has established an unemployed educator database, which principals and SGBs use to identify and recruit qualified unemployed graduate educators. The vacancy rate per district is as follows. The vacancy rate as per district is as indicated. Enkangala, in terms of the departmental head, we've got 244 vacancy, which reflects 18%. Deputy principals at 49 posts, which reflects 14%. Nkangala, the principals vacantly, it's 64, which is 13%. And then the teacher, it's 173, which is 2% of the vacancy rate. That is in Nkangala. At Hertsibande, departmental head, we've got 63 posts that are vacant, which reflects to 14%. Deputy principal, 44, which is 13%. Principal, 48, 12%. And the post-level 1 teacher is 166, which is 3%. Ehlanzeni, the departmental head, we've got 180, which reflects 14%. Deputy principal, 81, which is 20%. Ehlanzeni, post-level 1, it's 41, which is 11%. And then at Buhlabela, departmental head is 177, which reflects 21% of that vacancy rate. Deputy principal is at 39, which reflects 18%. Principal post level 2, 62, 17%. And post level 1 is at 54, which is 1%. How will you make schools safer by tackling bullying, violence, drugs, and vandalism? And what is the status of safety plans in all schools? The department is currently collaborating with Department of SAPS and Department of DCSSL to link schools with police stations and facilitate police adoption of schools for safety support. The department's psychology support services is also working with the Department of Health to assist learners that are affected by bullying and other safety concerns in our schools. The department has convened a multi-stakeholder assembly on the 28th and 29th of May 2026 to develop a measurable provincial school safety strategy that is aimed at establishing process, structures, and milestones in recognition that school safety is a societal responsibility. Our belief is that school safety is not a government responsibility only, but it is everybody's responsibility. We thus call on all our communities to be the first line of defense of our schools. We continue to teach and instill safety and security consciousness in our children through the teaching of life skills and life orientation. The next question is, what is your strategy to better prepare learners for employment, entrepreneurship, and digital economy? And our response, Honorable Speaker, is that as the department annually we develop a learner performance improvement plan that seeks to support learners across all grades from ECD to grade 12. Entrepreneurship is a cross-cutting concept that is embedded in all curriculum subjects. However, there are specific subjects such as economics and management sciences that runs entrepreneurship programs or projects through different partners to encourage learners in grade 7 to grade 9 to get practical involvement in entrepreneurships. The e-learning initiative started in grade 12 initially, and now we have introduced it in grade 10. and the introduction of coding and robotics in grades R to grade 9 seeks to address matters of digital economy by exposing our learners to digital literacy and innovation so that they grow up not only to be consumers of technology, but also to be creators of technology and innovation. Furthermore, Honorable Speaker, the department is implementing the 3-stream model that provides learners over and above academic stream, a vocational and the occupational streams. To date, the department has established School of Specialization or focus schools. There are 101 MSTA schools in the province, 28 agricultural schools, 55 technical schools, 5 schools of skills, and 1 school of performing arts. With these schools, we believe our learners are being prepared for employment, entrepreneurship, and participate in digital economy. The next question, how will you ensure every learner has access to proper classroom, textbooks, technology, and infrastructure such as water, sanitation, and scholar transport routes? In terms of classrooms, water, and sanitation, the department undertakes annual planning in line with the business processes and the norms and standards for public schools infrastructure. This process starts at school level, where each school identify the needs such as water, sanitation, maintenance, and replacements of unsafe schools. These needs are consolidated into district priorities and are then incorporated into provincial requirements. Then the department identifies key pressures, points for each financial year, and allocates the budget accordingly, prioritizing water and sanitation as essential basic services. On textbooks and technology, regarding the textbooks and technology, the department intends to equip new schools with whiteboards and smartboards instead of the old chalkboards. The grade 10 and grade 12 e-learning initiatives include the provision of tablets which are preloaded with all required textbooks in electronic format, as well as additional electronic learning and teaching support materials. For this year, 80,000 grade 10 learners have been given these tablets, and 60,000 grade 12 learners did also receive their devices with a 10 gigabytes data per month for each. On scholar transport, Honorable Speaker, the department, in collaboration with the Department of Public Works, Roads and Transport, has recently reviewed and expanded scholar transport routes to ensure that qualifying learners in remote and rural areas have access to learner transport program and can travel safely to and from the school. The new transport program, contracts came into effect on the 1st of July 2026, improving coverage and service delivery for all deserving learners. The two departments will continue to work closely with local municipalities and other stakeholders to improve road infrastructure and transport network serving schools, ensuring safe, reliable, and accessible transport for learners across the province. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Demanded, do you have follow-up questions?
Thank you, Speaker. I also thanks the MEC for answering all the questions. I don't have a question, but I'm having just a request. If all these questions can be put into practice, and number 3 in particular, question 3, if we can take question 3 to the people, we can take question 3 to the people of Mzinoni Secondary School, where gangsterism and bullying, violence and drugs is happening. If you can go there, that's only my plea or my request. If you can go to Mzinoni Secondary School to address this problem. Thank you, Speaker.
Are there follow-up questions? Honorable Weber.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much, MEC. I've got 2 follow-up questions, so I'll ask the first, sit down, and then raise my hand again.
You are only allowed to raise 1 follow-up question.
Okay. regarding robotronics, I know that 8 smart schools do it, but there are limited other schools that are doing it. It's still a pilot project, if you want to call that like that. Also, the department is also getting less and less computer centers working. So my question is, not all the learners get the same training. They don't get all this digital education that we talk about. It is still limited learners, and it's not even half the school. So what are we going to do to ensure that all of this gets into every single school? Thank you, MEC.
Speaker. Thank you very much, Honorable Weber. Indeed, it's not all the schools that are participating in all these other digital and robotics programs. Indeed, initially when it started, it was some kind of a pilot, and schools were deciding whether they do want to participate or not. But we've taken a firm view that we want to increase the schools that are participating gradually as we put budget aside to ensure that more resources are given to schools. The more resources we are giving to schools, the more schools are going to participate. It is our firm view that we want to expand. Thank you very much, Honorable Weber.
Thank you, Honorable MEC. The next question is from Honorable Mashiane. Sorry about that.
Accepted, Speaker. Speaker, mine is not a question but a comment to say on question number 3 on the bullying. When the department is doing those safety plans, please include the teachers, because the teachers are also bullied both by the parents and the learners. Thank you, Speaker.
Honorable MEC.
No, thank you very much. Indeed, Honorable Mashiane, that is taken into consideration. That is what we are doing when we put those plans in place. It covers all our teachers as well as our learners, because we have noted that that is what is happening in our schools, also affecting our teachers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable MEC. The next question is from Honorable Sidibe, EFF, to ask the MEC for Economic Development and Tourism. Over to you, Honorable MEC.
No, thanks once again, Honorable Speaker. Probably I've learned from my previous experience to be economical with my responses so that we allow members to make follow-up questions. So today, to be direct on the questions that has been asked from or by Honorable Sidibe from the EFF, is that for a number of years, the Nkomazi SEZ has remained in the planning and design phase, despite being identified as a strategic economic project from Mpumalanga. While significant resources continue to be allocated towards feasibility studies, designs, and professional services, communities are yet to witness visible construction of the bulk infrastructure that is necessary to unlock investment and employment opportunities. The question that has been asked is that how much has the department spent on feasibility studies, designs, professional service providers for the Nkomazi SEZ from inception to date, and what percentage of the actual bulk infrastructure has been completed? The response to the question is that detailed engineering designs and professional services were funded from the budget allocation for the Nkomazi SEZ at a tune of 56 million, of which 18 million has been spent from that to date. The second question is that what is causing the prolonged transition from planning to physical implementation, and what consequence management has been taken against the party responsible for avoidable delays? The response is that the Nkomazi SEZ is a large multi-stakeholder infrastructure program that requires statutory approvals, land agreements, township establishments, environmental authorization, water use licensing, engineering designs, investor packaging, governance arrangements for the SEZ entity, and funding alignment across provincial and national spheres. These steps were necessary to ensure that the construction proceeds lawfully and that the project is bankable for investors and does not create unfunded infrastructure commitments. And then the last question, what assurance can the MEC give that the Nkomazi SEZ will not become another long-term planning exercise without tangible economic benefits for the people of Mpumalanga. The response is that the assurance is that the Nkomasi SEZ has progressed beyond a concept stage and now has key foundations required for the implementation. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Sidibe, do you have follow-up questions?
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. And yes, I have a follow-up question to the MEC, just to take the House into confidence in terms of the work done so far. At what phase is the SEZ, or at percentage towards being fully operationalized? Thank you.
Thank you once again, Honorable Speaker. The response to that is that indeed we are still at the design stage. Safe to say, issues around the bulk electricity designs have been completed. We are now at the tender stage, as well as the bulk water infrastructure designs has been completed, and it's now on the procurement stage. Safe to say there were delays around the road master plan, indeed, because initially the designs did not cater for the road leading to the infrastructure or the SEZ itself. So there had to be reviewals of the designs that needed to take place. And indeed, that has been completed, Honorable Sidibe. So safe to say the challenges in terms of getting up that infrastructure in as far as the resources, financial resources that are required for the Nkomasi SEZ to get the bulk infrastructure taking up, it's roughly around 2 billion from the provincial government. We have an allocation of 45 million, which is just a drop in the ocean. But however, we have moved in terms of submitting our business plans to the SEZ fund, which is managed by the DTIC as well as the bulk infrastructure fund. And where we are waiting responses with regards to our application. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Thank you, Honorable MEC. The next question is from Honorable N.C. Bunganem Mtsweni, MKP, to ask the MEC for health. Honorable Mtsweni did not comply with the rules. Then the next question, which is question number 56, from Honorable R.J. Malachi, EFF, to ask the MEC for cooperative governance, human settlements, and traditional affairs, and this question must be responded in writing. The next question from Honorable T.G. Skosana, MKP, to ask the MEC for cooperative governance, human settlement, and traditional affairs. Also, this question must be in writing. Then the next question is from Honorable F.T. Mashiane, Action SA, to ask the MEC for cooperative governance, human settlements, and traditional affairs. And we have received an apology from Honorable Mashilo, and Honorable Sidel will stand in for Honorable Mashilo.
No, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Just my apology, trying to get hold of the response from Honorable Mashilo as I was settling down. Honorable Speaker, it looks like the response has not been finished amongst these that I have before me. However, with due respect, can I request the response be furnished in writing through your office to the honorable member, if you permit, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Mashiane.
Unfortunately, the MEC is asking a wrong person. You must ask whether I agree that it must be in writing, because that's my question. It's not the speaker's question, but I agree it must be in writing. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, through you once again, indeed, I said through your good self, Honorable Speaker, to ask the Honorable Member, but however, I have just drawn my attention to the response. I do have it. So I can proceed. If you permit, Honorable Speaker, thank you.
In writing. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
No, thank you. Thank you very much. Honorable members, we've exhausted all the questions. All the questions that I indicated that must be in writing. They must be in our office within 10 days. And this marks the end of today's proceedings. And honorable members will adjourn just for 5 minutes. I'm told IEC is already here. Then after these 5 minutes, we'll come back so that IEC can brief honorable members in terms of our program. They were supposed to brief honorable members by 1:30. Because we finished early, then we'll allow them, as they are already here, to come and brief all honorable members. And you are all requested to remain standing in your places until the procession has left the chamber and the House is adjourned until the 4th of September 2026 at 10 o'clock at Steve Church Local Municipality.